Welcome Libra, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au, and it's March 2020, and there's a whole lot going on in your horoscope this month, as you can see down in the lower part of the chart here. Now if you draw a line across here, what you have is the horizon. So all of these planets that we see here, the South Node, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, which is retrograde by the way, Sun and Neptune, are all basically under the earth, as they say. So this is sort of the hidden side of your personality. And it's interesting because, let me just animate this for you right now. Better get the right date here. March 1st, 2020. Let's just start it at 6 a.m. and we'll see what's going on here. And as you can see, Saturn, which has been sitting here for a good 2.5 years now, will this month, you'll be pleased to note, it's giving a little bit of a hint there, slip out of this fourth house. Now the fourth house, most Western astrologers understand this to be the home, your domestic circumstance, your mother, your family, your genetics, that type of thing. But in the tradition of my teacher, he explained to me that this also has to do with your morality and your peace of mind, your inner well-being. So it's very telling that these planets are here. Notice also that Mercury, which is a quick-moving planet, the communications planet, it's retrograde, and it's just moved back here into this fifth house for the time being, around the 4th of March. So there's something you may have overlooked here. This is the creative sector. This is your romance, your love life. It's your children as well. And so maybe some revision going on in that area in the first week or so of March 2020. But coming back to this lower part of the horoscope, when you've got Saturn here and Mars, that can be really inhibiting and frustrating, to say the least. And often it has to do with your family. And I don't want to miss this full moon, because that has to do with family too. Look at the full moon there around the 9th, occurring in your 12th house, the Sun in the 6th house. This has again to do with hidden components of your life, the past. And so through this few days, the 10th, the 11th, there are some nice aspects that form here to this 4th house, which I'm trying to get to. This is the inner part of yourself. The last few years, I think there's been a lot of inhibition there, and basically a bit of a darkness and an inability to feel complete or happy in yourself. But the good news is that this month, this planet Saturn is going to move away from here, away from this 4th house. And you'll notice also Mercury now moving into its forward direction after the middle of the month, ready to give you the thumbs up for any decisions that you wanted to make but were a little bit apprehensive about doing. And you'll also look at this position of the Sun here as it moves its way towards your 7th house here, because this has to do with your relationships and your ruling planet Venus here, showing some unexpected twists and turns in the love life. Now, Venus is the natural significator of love, and it happens to be the ruling planet for your sun sign. So, this is why they say Libra and love are so closely intertwined. Here we see Mercury moving out around the 17th, back out of this 5th house of love affairs. But then the next 2.5 years are going to be dominated by this movement of Saturn that will take place right at the end of March 2020. So some of these aspects, such as the Venus-Uranus combination, setting up some unexpected relationship issues, the transit of the Sun here on the 21st, what we call the Sun ingress into your 7th house, which is your most meaningful relationships, and this retrograde and then forward movement of Mercury into the 5th house of romance, are all pointing to the fact that your love life, your most significant relationships are going to really be high up on your agenda this month. But it's all sitting on the foundation of this lower part of the horoscope, this morality, this inner peace of mind. And you see here Saturn transiting out of this area there on the 23rd, just after the sun's ingress. So I think this last week of the month is going to see some significant shifts in your personality, in your attitude to people. And the new moon also occurs in this 7th house of relationships. Now, if you're not in a relationship, it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. This 7th house, Libra, also has to do with your business partnerships, your significant financial associations. And that's also shown by this 8th house. Look at the moon making a very powerful conjunction to Uranus after the new moon, which shows you turning over a new leaf in your relationships. That can also mean that someone close to you in your life is possibly considering changing. I'm wondering whether that had something to do with the retrograde Mercury and the communication aspects, the fact that you're not happy in yourself. Maybe there's some component, and we see here the hard aspect of Mars to, earlier in the month anyhow, we had that square aspect of Venus and Mars. That's a very passionate combination, but it is also a combination that can create some strife between you and your significant other. You'll notice that Mars has moved out as well of this 4th house. That leaves predominantly, if we leave aside these outer planets and the shadowy point, the south node, you're left there with the beneficial Jupiter, which usually does give you a much more buoyant internal sense. It's good that these planets have moved away. I'm going to leave this Mars-Saturn influence till next month. In the meantime, you can have a closer look at what's been going on. I just noticed something. Look at all of these planets being hemmed in by the north and the south node in one hemisphere of the zodiac. This is called Kalasarpa Yoga, and it's a very important karmic combination. So important, significant events, feelings, experiences, perspectives start to take shape at this time. And as I was about to say, at astrology.com today, you can find out in a more chronological sense, because I do tend to jump around a little bit, what's going on for you throughout the month of March. You can have a look at your daily and the yearly forecast that I've done. There's 3,500 words there for you to put this in context. You know, you can subscribe here, drop me a line, and if you want a personal reading, it's a perfect time early in the year to see exactly how all this fits together with respect to your personal date, time, and place of birth. See you next month, Libra. Bye-bye.